Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. Just Fred Arnold on the Valley Industry Association Business Spotlight. I'm joined by Dave Cantrell. Dave Cantrell is a mortgage professional at American Family Funding, and he's all into mortgages and helping people fulfill the dream of home ownership when it comes to buying a home. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm excited to talk about something I think is really important to if anyone listening to this is looking to buy a house, and that is, what does it take to get pre-approved for a home loan? Getting completely pre-approved. I'm not talking about just the basics of pre-qualified, which is a credit report, talking to a mortgage professional, but I'm talking about the actually getting approved, where the underwriter signs off on it and you become essentially a cash buyer. Tell me a little bit about the process, Dave.
Well, the process really is involved in we want to make sure that you're in a situation where you're going to be able to pay back that loan. We don't want to put you in a situation where it's going to be a struggle. But to do that, we're going to have to get a lot of information. We're going to have to verify a lot of your assets and a lot of the income that you have. When you're going to apply for a loan, we're probably going to ask for every single piece of paper you've ever touched in your life.
Including your fourth grade report card.
Yes, that's very important. Make sure you can find that. Okay, not that bad, but some of the things that we're looking to be able to verify your income, verify your assets, we're going to want W-2s or 1099s from the previous 2 years, or like right now, 14 and 15. We're going to want things like your federal tax returns, the full return, not just like the front page. We're going to want to see your mortgage statement.
Let me interrupt you right there,
yeah,
because that's a mouthful right there. Why is it really important that we get pay stubs, bank statements, 1099s? Because the tax returns disclose a lot of things that you might not think to disclose to the mortgage professional.
That's true, and that's one of the reasons why we do get the W-2s and the 1099s and the full, because we want a full picture. We want to be able to look at everything that you have to make a very educated decision on what we can do for you. And so that's why we ask for all of this paperwork, because we want to be able to really provide the best situation we can.
Some people, the myth out there is I'm self-employed, so it's harder for me to qualify. Not necessarily if you have the income.
Absolutely.
If you claim the income, right?
Correct, that's right. And I mean, we just ask for, that's one of the reasons where we'll be looking for, obviously, your tax returns. And there's plenty of information on those tax returns that we can make a decision on, and we can help. So being self-employed is not really a bad thing at all. It's just, we just look for different things, that's all.
Yep, and so if you recently changed jobs, that's not necessarily bad.
No.
But we need to know so we can completely understand what your picture is. Going from employed to self-employed could be a little more of a challenge, but there's still options available to you depending on how long you've done that, how long ago you did that, whether you filed a tax return or not, so many different things. So we talked about income, covered that. Let's talk about assets.
All right, well, that's when we're going to want to see your bank statements, your investment statements if you're with a company, those types of things. And the one thing that's always funny is we always ask for all of the pages, even if they're blank. I don't know why, but that's what we need and that's what we want. So that's where we're going to get into the asset side of it, is your bank statements, your investment statements, your retirement information. If you're retired and those types of things, we'll need to see that as well.
One of the key things I think they're looking for when it comes to assets, and note this, is do you have any large deposits recently? And your definition of a large deposit, the underwriter is different, but
correct.
The bottom line is they don't want to think that you borrowed the money
right
to buy this house and put it in the bank last month.
Correct. They want to make sure that basically you have some skin in the game. I mean, that's really what the bottom line is. And so if there are large deposits like that, we will question that. And if it's something that you can write up and explain and say, this came from this investment that I made, then that's probably going to be okay. But it's something that we're going to have to take a look at.
Self-employed, one thing we didn't throw in there was a copy of your profit, loss, or business returns.
Correct. Yeah, we'll need a P&L statement just to see how the business has been doing, because if you are self-employed, obviously we're going to have to make a decision on that business as well.
And it doesn't necessarily need to be audited, which means that it could be something that was done by your bookkeeper or yourself if you do your own books.
Correct.
It doesn't have to be anything extensive if you back it up with tax returns. What if you are retired and or you get Social Security.
Again, you'll get, I believe, 1099s in those situations from your dispersions or your distributions, and so that's something that we'll take a look at. But we'll want to see your Social Security benefit, the packages that you have there, as well as if you're taking draws on your 401ks, we'll want to see the 401k accounts to see, how much of an asset you have there that we can draw from.
Last couple things that you're going to need.
The last couple of things is we'll need a copy of your driver's license. We'll also need a copy of your mortgage statement, the mortgage statement that you have now. We'll also want to see if you have a homeowners association, then we'll want to see your homeowners association, because these are all things that, number one, the driver's license, obviously, to make sure that you're you, but all of the other things are pieces of the puzzle that we need to put together, because those are things that you have an obligation to, and so that's why we're going to also be able to take a look at those things as well as the credit report, the basic credit report, and situations like that.
Yeah, and there's so many different variables that you need to look at. The most important thing is when you're dealing with your mortgage professional, make sure they're asking you for all these items. If they're not, go find someone that is.
Correct.
Because the underwriter needs this one way or the other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the day of stated income loans, I guess they're coming back, but really they're not stated income. They're more of verifying your business and verifying cash flow, and the rates are much higher. But for most Fannie Freddie loans, most 30-year fixed rate loans you hear about, VA, FHA, you're going to need this information to get approved.
And again, you're going to want to provide this because you're going to want to be in the right situation, and that's what we try and do.
Yeah. Those want to reach out to you, how can they get you, Dave?
They can reach me at, my email is david@affloans.com, or they can reach me at my telephone number, 661-505-4368. Cell phone number, 661-904-3368.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Cantrell. David Cantrell is with American Family Funding Mortgage Professional, licensed mortgage professional. Hope you enjoyed this edition of the Valley Industry Association Business Spotlight. This is host Fred Arnold on AM 1220 KHTS.